Hey there Internet, Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. In this video, it's the Ego 3200 battery powered pressure washer. It looks like it's going to be pretty good, but 3200 PSI, that's quite the claim. That's really high territory for an electric pressure washer. This cost me about $870. There is one for $449 without the battery. So if you already have Ego 5 amp and up batteries, two of them get you turbo mode, but you can run this off of one battery. Now they state it could run 60 minutes with these two batteries on eco mode. And if you run it on medium, it's going to run 25 to 30 minutes. And then if you run it in turbo mode the whole time, about 15 minutes. These batteries weigh almost 7 pounds, like 6 pounds, 7 ounces. This weighs 30 pounds by itself. Push the button on the front, the little LED display will show you how much battery life you have. One complaint I have, though, even no matter how good it can be, they give you this foam cannon. They made this awesome holder for the spray gun and the wand. This nice little holder back here for the hoses. Where does this go? This is probably one of the better foam cannons that you're going to see that comes with a product. But this orifice is not a replaceable one. This entire assembly comes out the back like that. 1.19. Oh, almost. All right, that goes in pretty good. So it's between a 1.16 and a 1.19. I'm saying 1.17. So on the back, you have this little rubber strap with a prong here, and you just kind of pull that tight and run that over. Nice for storage. In their listing, they do not say the length of these hoses anywhere. That's a pretty big marketing miss if you ask me. But I guess I'll be the one that has to figure it out for them. 25 feet. And that's a pretty good length. A lot of pressure washers come with a 20-foot hose. 25 foot is enough to get you around most cars. This thing comes with quick connects for everything. Look here. Already has a quick connect up front for a 3/8" quick disconnect. The hose already comes with quick disconnects. The siphon filter, so this is what you would drop in your bucket. And when I mean drop, I mean drop. It has a weight in the bottom of it that sinks it to the bottom of the bucket. And the hose, it's a quick disconnect. Literally pops in. And quality, this is the plastic one. The click's good. It's not loose. On this end, they've already converted this hose to the 3/4" water hose opening that you have right here on the front. Feels like an Uberflex. Maybe it's a Flexzilla rebranded. But I have a 35-foot Uberflex hose here. The material feels exactly the same. The bend feels like an Uberflex, maybe slightly stiffer. Twist out everything you can. Run your hand through it to kind of pull out the coil. They're packed tight from factory, even a really flexible hose. It takes a little bit to get all the coiling out and get it to lay the way that you want. Now let's go to something nobody has ever done before with a pressure washer. And that's a gun that has a display on it. Well, not really a display, but it has LED indicators and a button. It uses a 2032 battery, which is basically the same battery as in all my BMW key fobs. But you can control the pressure washer from the gun. So you could change the speed from your low, medium, turbo. It tells you the battery usage as well. It does come with a bit of a sacrifice because this is the heaviest gun I have ever held. The weight is just above your hand. So even though it's heavy, it's not a ton of wrist fatigue because the weight is at the top of the hand. It's not forcing you to bend your wrist. Trigger, it's really good. It has a little play to it. Slightly more than an SGS 28 MTM, which is the lightest trigger out there. When you hold it, it's nothing. Quick connect already there. This is just the M22 fitting at the bottom. 3/8" quick disconnects. Quite weird. So the first of the many nozzles that you get, it plugs directly into the wand. It's the rinse nozzle. But that's one of the easiest quick connects because you don't have to pull down on this. When it's open, it's already pulled down and you just snap it into play. But you got to be careful with this quick connect because it's a rocket launcher. So it comes with this piece right here. I mean, it's plastic, but it feels really nice. Got that right there. You have your length. This is a good place to hold. I mean, it looks like a weapon out like Halo or something like that. Then this one goes on top. Then you have your full length gun. You have your 1/4 inch quick disconnects, like rubberized. It has those ribs, and when you put it on this quick disconnect, you pop it in. Look how tight that is. Looks really nice. So you have a 40 degree, you have your 25 degree, which is mainly for normal cleaning. Your 40 degree would be for softer surfaces, car washing. Your 15 degree is going to be for your concrete, brick, masonry, that kind of stuff. And it has a turbo nozzle as well, the ones that kind of spin. Push the button down, one click for one height, and then one more click for an even higher height. But it comes up basically right at my hip. Now I just brought the Ryobi one just to kind of show you what one of these looks like. The differences between something like this and something like this. This is really well built. Now let me show you real quick how to shorten this up. There's two things that you can do. To convert this from your 3-inch quick disconnect to get it back to a 1/4 inch quick disconnect, which is an industry standard, it's going to work with everything. That's going to allow you to use this with an MJJC foam cannon or anything like that. So what you can do is take the same kind of quick connect that's already attached to the bottom of the gun. It's the exact same thing. That's going to convert your 3H to an M22. Then you grab an M22 14mm to 1/4 inch female quick connect. Screw the two together, and we can convert this to a 1/4 inch. And we can use one of our, test nozzles. Then there's the other way, even shorter and smaller than this way, much lighter, is to just take a 1/4 inch male MPT to 1/4 inch male quick disconnect. And then you get a 3/8 inch male quick disconnect to 1/4 inch MPT threads. So you can take the two 1/4 inch threads, screw them together with some Teflon tape. You have your 1/4 inch quick disconnect on one end, and you have your quick connect on your end. Basically the exact same thing, just the shorter weight of doing it and less weight at the front of the gun, which is going to be nice when you're around the car. Just like that. But can it meet these amazing numbers that it's stating? I'm not sure if it can even be within 20 to 30%. Pretty dang amazing, if you ask me. So don't forget to check out any of the links below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. So let's get this set up. Hose, pretty easy. Quick connect right in. Our garden hose, we got our quick connect on there as well. This little battery piece right here, let's not get our hands caught in there because there's no safety there. It doesn't like click. But our batteries go in. Let's turn the water on. I don't see any leaks. The nozzle is, it's horizontal and vertical. So you can look at it and know what direction it's pointing. So here goes nothing. Let's turn it on. Ooh, that's a weird sound. Now, what I've seen in other videos at the demos and their own YouTube channel is that it does continue to run. You can hear the fans. So if you are having long periods between, it's suggested that you turn this off. You cannot turn it off from the gun though. You can only change the speeds and see the battery indicator. So let's change it to low. Let me show you how that works. So you see battery indicator there, all bars. You hit this little button right here. So this is low. (890 PSI). High. (1450). Can we break 2,000? I would be impressed if we broke 2,000. I'm not expecting 3,200. 2,160 PSI. That's actually quite impressive. So this is the yellow tip on turbo. 2,900 PSI. That's your like medium to high range gas powered pressure washer stuff. 2330. So the green's slightly more cleaning power than the white one. Let's do the turbo nozzle. Turbo nozzle is running about 920 PSI. But you have to remember that turbo nozzle is like a 0 degree that's constantly spinning. So it's lower pressure, but it's a higher impact. Since the Riz nozzle is a little bit higher size, it plugs directly in. But I'm going to turn it off. I think we might be able to get the exact same thing regardless. So we're going to test the yellow tip on this brick wall over here. People comment in my videos all the time, why is their driveway so dirty? Why is it so dirty? Because I leave it for testing for this kind of stuff. So we got the yellow tip on low. Obviously that did nothing. Let's try high. It's not bad. We had to get much closer with the stream than I wanted to because you don't want to break up the mortar, but it cleaned pretty good. Now let's try the turbo. I say that cleaned really well because a lot of the other cheaper pressure washers only run like 1500 PSI. I have to get like that close to do that kind of work. All right, so here's high with the yellow tip on the concrete. So you can see from that distance it's not working as well. I'm gonna have to get much closer. Now here's turbo from further away. That's better. We're going to move in just a little bit closer. So how about a surface cleaner? Let's try it on high. That's not bad. Maybe a little bit slower. We'll get it better clean. Not bad, but I think this is going to be more of a turbo type job. Well, I would say that worked extremely well. Cleaned up that whole area right there. Now here's a rust spot from a big dumpster that I had at the house when I tried to clean out the garage. That actually did pretty good. That's way better than I was expecting. Pulled out without me even twisting the gun. As you can see, I've gotten a lot of the air out. It just takes some pressure, a couple of washes. There's no hose on earth that is not going to coil up on you, and even with a swivel. It's just easier to fix with a swivel. So I'm not going to turn the gun. I still think it's slightly lower than an Uberflex hose, not as good, but it's one of the best in the box solutions I've seen so far. Well, now we got to test how it primes. We're not going to do a ton with this. If it does 2,800 plus PSI, we know that it runs the same as it does with a hose. So these kind of hoses are very stiff, especially when they're rolled up. That screws all the way on there. Wow. Here we go. Oh, that stays down there really good with that weight. Turbo, yellow tip. It's going to take a minute to get that primed. All right, we're toward the bottom of the bucket. We're definitely sucking in some air. And there's our bucket. Stayed in the bottom. That's about how much water is left. And we're going to try our test nozzles. So I don't need that long wand. That will not change the pressure at all. So we're just going to run it in turbo. This is the smallest test nozzle I have. It's a 2.0. 2180. So I have no idea what that yellow is. That might be like a 1.0. So the bucket test, and I've kind of changed what I've done before. I have a reading over here I was using, but we're going to use the conversion now because I have a good scale. I zero out the tare weight. We weigh what's in there. We use our conversion 8.34 to convert it to gallons, so we can see how many gallons are in the bucket after 1 minute. That's how we find out our gallons per minute. This is the white nozzle on low. So 8.12 pounds, that's basically a gallon. The gallon's like 8.34. So there you go. Not a whole lot of flow. And here is high on the white nozzle. Definitely more, 10.22. That's 1.22 gallons per minute. Now it's turbo time. 12.42 divided by 8.34. That's 1.5 gallons per minute at 2100 PSI. So on a 3.0 at turbo, we get about 1150 PSI. Pretty good number. Let's check the high. So it's like 650 on low, 1,000, right? 1,000, between 1,000 and 1,050 on high. So let's check the gallons per minute on turbo. So that was about between 1120 and 1160. It's constantly, you know, like changing up and down, but I'd say like 1140 PSI. 13.54 is the weight. 1.6 gallons per minute turbo on the 3.0. Now this is high. Yeah, not as good. It was about 1,050 PSI, 1,040. So 12.7 divided by 8.14. 1.56 gallons per minute. So we need turbo to get the highest flow. So let's go to a 3.5, and that should put us at 1,000 in turbo, I think. Actually about 920 in turbo. That's going to be our best PSI flow combo. 13.62 divided by 8.14, 1.67 gallons per minute. Let's go one more. Let's go to a 4.0. On second thought, the 4.0 is only 700 PSI on turbo. I think that's a waste of time. In order to test the stock foam cannon, we need the stock spray gun. It's just going to pop in there, snaps in. Really nice and compact that way. We have our vertical. I don't quite know how wide the fan is. We cannot change it from the stream to the wide fan. We're just stuck with whatever it is. It says suds are all the way to the left. We have ½ ounce of incredible suds because this is a 500 milliliter bottle. I'm going to put it in turbo and let it go. Well, I would say that it's definitely in the category of a foam cannon. Not the best foam cannon, for sure. So I already had a dilution in this foam cannon, which is a video I filmed before this, but since this is something I've been anticipating, this is going to come out first. The Swift Auto here, it's basically an MJJC Pro version 2. But it's already got the dilution ratio I'm looking for. We're keeping the stock gun using our little converter right here. We're going to put it in turbo. Low is not the way to go. And that was with a 1.25 orifice. Let's run a 1.1 real quick. That's what I'm talking about. This is low. Low can foam too. Obviously not as good, but if you're trying to save some battery power, low works pretty good. Here's high. Then back to turbo. So that's quite good foam. 1.25, you run on turbo, you're good. You want to save some battery power, suggest you go to the 1.1 orifice and run it in high. I think low is a little less on foam, but if you want it that way, you can go that way. You can go low. So all your car washers or car detailers out there, upgrade path, not a whole ton. I would say go to an Uberflex. This is just slightly below that. I would stick to the 1/4-inch hoses on this. I wouldn't go to the 3/8. You possibly on a 3/8 might be able to get a little more PSI because of PSI drop with a 1/4-inch hose, but I don't think you need it. I don't know what it was designed for. You don't want to go outside of that. With an SGS 28 gun, 3.0. About the same, about like 1130 PSI. The gun upgrade is not about performance. They do the same. Lighter, more form, more function, smaller package, those kinds of things. Well, there you go. It's an amazing product. It has those slight downfalls. You can always nitpick something. No storage for the foam cannon. The pretty cool gun is pretty heavy and pretty big, but you can kind of get over that. The numbers were crazy good. And I did notice earlier when I was looking, I noticed the hole sizes were different between the white, green, and yellow. And you could tell that yellow, we got almost to 2,900. I think maybe we did at one point, but it was 2,800, something crazy. Then even with the white 40 degree, we're hitting 2,150, like 1,500, and even on the low end, like 8,900. It's just crazy good stuff. We got upwards of almost close to 1.7 gallons per minute. Now, if you're already in the Ego battery verse, I think it's a pretty good value. Even at $800, if you're trying to get into Ego and you know you're going to get a blower and you might get something else, this is something good to get into to get you those two really good 6 amp hour batteries and then use them on a blower and other stuff, because I don't know if you'll be using this all the time. So don't forget to check out the links below for anything in the video. I have many different ones for this in different places because it's probably going to go in and out of stock. Share the video for me, please. This is the most I've ever spent on the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars Keeve YouTube. And that's a gun. Why can't I do it? Whoops. Well, that's kilograms. That's kilograms. You're so dumb. This whole time you're like, how does that equate to a half a gallon? Oh my gosh, you're such an idiot. So in order to test the stock foam cannon, we got stock. In order to test the stock foam gun, we got the stock foam. Oh my gosh. In order to test the stock foam cannon, we're gonna need this stock foam. Oh my gosh. In order to test the stock foam cannon, we need this stock. In order to test, oh my gosh. In order to test the stock spray gun, we need this. So in order to test the stock foam gun, we need the stock. So in order to, so don't forget to check out the links below for anything in the. So don't forget to check out. Oh my gosh. So don't forget. Just stop. Just slow down. Just slow down.